What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and whatever time it is. Welcome back to another video with your man, Immersiaholic. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another online battle for the Divided Impera overall mod for Total War Rome 2. Today, we are playing as the Cimbri, taking on the Nervii, Germans versus the Belgians. Going to be a very interesting matchup here. Here is our Cimbri Noble Warrior unit. Cimbri are easily one of my most favorite factions in DEI. Faction added specifically by DEI, by the way. So if you haven't ever played DEI and you're somehow watching this battle, this is one of the things you're missing out on. It's an awesome, entirely new, brand new faction. So there will be timestamps in the video down below, so please do use those if you need them, if you want to skip ahead to certain sections of the battle. But basically, I'm going to cover my roster here first. Then I'll be covering my opponent's roster, which is my man Manco, by the way. We just played in the pre-Marian Rome versus Media battle. You guys might have seen on my channel already. So I'll divide those up into timestamps for you, and then I will deal the rest of it for you as well. So feel free to use that down below. Anyway, let's get started now. We'll go from left to right here, talking about my roster, and then we'll talk about his shortly after. So on our far left-hand flank here, we have the Cimbri Medium Horseman. Not very elite, pretty standard, and basically like an equity kind of unit. Pretty just a solid mid-tier melee cavalry unit. But the main secret about these guys is that they're actually insanely good at stealth. Not only do they have guerrilla deployment, but they also have the stalk ability. Very, very powerful, especially for an online battle. So as far as my mate Manco is concerned, I do not have any cavalry on either of my wings because both of my wings are actually using the medium cav, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. But anyway, continuing from our right to left, we then have 2 Cimbri veteran swordsman units, and then I have a main battle line of 5 Cimbri heavy axemen. These guys are 300 men strong per unit, a lot of attack, still solid defense, decent armor at 20, excellent charge bonus at 29, and amazing weapon damage. This is going to be a very rush orientated army, as you can see, as of most German armies, by the way, but especially the Cimbri, and especially just the way I've played them. I've played them a fair bit, so I'm pretty used to this roster. So I'm really hopeful that I can use my rush tactics to overwhelm the Nervii, but who knows what the Nervii are going to throw at us. Anyway, we then also have 2 more veteran swords on the far right hand flank, the 2 medium Cimbri horsemen that I just mentioned, and then in the second row we have 1 unit of berserkers right here, only 200 men strong though, unfortunately. We have another Cimbri veteran sword in reserve, and then we have 2 more Cimbri veteran swords, so a total of 3 in reserve right here behind our main battle line. They're basically in a position where they can come swoop around either flank, or they can try to punch a hole in the center. Basically, they're support units, and they're very, very good at it though. And then on the far right hand side, we have our Cimbri berserkers. So only 2 units of berserkers in this battle. I've thought about bringing more, and to be honest, I probably should have. The berserkers in basically any faction are always amazing, but I really wanted to make sure that I had a lot of numbers in this battle. A lot of my online battles recently, I've only had like 19 or 18 units instead of the full 20, so that's why I really tried to make sure I did have that here. But anyway, in the far rear, we have a single archer unit. This is the Cimbri archers, and the Cimbri archers are special because they have a spear, so they won't die instantly if they get charged by a cav, but they do only have a range of 135, which is pretty pathetic, so I've got to get them close. And I have my general, which is a Cimbri noble horseman, the only noble horse we have, and then in the rear behind him, we have our Cimbri nobles that I showed you at the beginning. So that is our entire army. I'm going to put this in slow motion shortly while we begin talking about the enemy army. Okay, so getting into slow motion, we have 2 units of cavalry on his far left-hand flank. He has a Belgae medium cav, and then some Remy elites. Very, very powerful cav unit. Got to watch out for those Remys. He has the same matchup on his far right-hand side, another medium and elite cavalry unit. So he has 4 units of cav in total, plus a fifth one, back here in the rear of his army. Very supportive position to have that. I like having cav in the center, actually. It's a little bit unorthodox, but I like it a lot. I do that in a lot of my battles. You'll see that, I'm sure. And then he has a main front line of a couple different units. He has a medium spearman unit, another one right there. And then he has Belgate Druidic Guard, 1, 2, and then 3. Is there a fourth one? Yep, there's 4 of those. So that's his main front line that we can see at least. Then he has 2 more medium spearmen on the far right. Then in the second line, he has 1 Nervii naked skirmisher, Belgate archers, Belgate peasants, so just a throwaway unit, and then more Belgate archers. Is that so? Okay, so 2 units of archers is all we can see so far. Oh no, is that a third? Nope, that's another skirmisher. So two archers and then 2 javelin men on each flank. And then he has the peasants, like I said, and then his general is an infantryman, Belgate bodyguard, very interesting choice. Then he has a Remy elite cav in reserve, like I said. So let's get this battle playing normally. It's gonna happen very, very quickly, so hopefully I'll be able to keep up. But immediately off the bat, I'm charging straight at him. I'm pushing my army up forward across the entire front line. I'm trying to get the charges on his cavalry. We basically win that charge there, but his elites are elite, so I do need to be careful about that, and I'm already going to send over some swordsmen to try and help out. All of my swords have javelins, by the way. That javelin will help a lot and get me a lot of free kills on the enemy cavalry. On the far left-hand flank, though, I'm playing kind of defensively with my cav. I have them a little bit further back. Well, I only have my 1 unit of cav, but then I have my general here to support if I do need to. But then I realized I really have to win this right-hand flank, so I'm going to immediately swing my general around while I'm bringing in the swordsman as well. He's bringing in his own support in 2 skirmishers and a single cav unit, so this whole flank over here is blowing up very quickly. But in the meantime, I'm trying to basically overwhelm him with having to force micromanagement on him. And so the way I'm doing that is just charging across the entire front line immediately. We're not going to skirmish or do any of that crap. We're just charging straight in. The veteran swordsmen do have their javelins, although the axemen don't, I believe. Do they? Let's double check. No, they do. I just didn't let them throw their javelins, actually. Very interesting choice on my part. Sometimes I do that intentionally, other times not. But the main thing here is that I really needed his main battle line engaged with my own. Here comes the charges. Beautiful charge across the entire front line. We're completely engaged right now. On the left, he's starting to swing into my cavalry, and they anticipate and actually get the charge on my medium cav, so that's really bad. But I then have my veteran swords coming in to support, and then I have my berserkers coming in as well, because berserkers will deal severe damage against these heavily armored cav units. So I'm feeling pretty confident there. And then I'm even going to bring back one of my swordsmen and actually outflank his cavalry even more. So basically, we're very invested on the left and right hand cav fights. On the right hand flank, things are not going as well. He still has 3 units of cavalry right here. How are they doing stat wise? One of them's almost halfway. They're all pretty much doing perfect. I really need to hurry up and support that right flank a little bit better. Moving some infantry around to try and help out my general, who's getting a little bit bogged down right here. Cannot lose my general, at least not early on. So one thing you're going to notice as well is that my archers, my single unit, is on flaming arrows. I brought only 1 unit of a archer because I wanted it to be able to fire its fire arrows on certain units to make them rout off the battlefield. This is this is an army devoted very much to trying to get the enemy units to rout and be scared. So that's why I have my berserkers, that's why I have my archers. And I was hoping my cavalry might even be able to help out, but he's won the cav fight once again. My man Manco, he knows what he's doing with his cavalry, but all of these infantry units out here, they're going to get demolished by my own. So I'm going to start swinging around his flank with my infantry pretty soon if he's not careful. I'm trying to bring my general back to get out of the way of his cavalry that's coming in. And now I also have my own cav swinging around after they kind of had a draw on the left flank. He has 1 more unit of cav here. I'm not sure why I didn't get that first, but I didn't. Either way, he's getting some solid rear charges across the front line here. 2 of his cav units have just come in and rear charged my units, so they're going to be routing, but so is his main front line. His main front line is starting to crumble really, really fast. In the center here, I'm starting to have my archers use their flaming shot on certain different units while also trying to use my scare ability. You can see right there, we have the intimidate ability going on right now. So we're actually doing okay. The main crisis is that his cavalry is still completely free, running around trying to chase down my general, basically. So I'm having to use my infantry in conjunction with my limited cav options to try and bog them down, while my main front line just demolishes his. I don't even really need to outflank the enemy anymore to win that main battle. I just need to grind through them and keep getting them. My general is about to get caught here. Oh yeah, look at that terrible micromanagement. Impera, what are you doing? No, 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 no. That is not what we want. Oh, look at this. This little sandwich coming in on my general. I try to pull him away. I'm trying to pull him away as far as I can. Get him involved in fighting my infantry, but man, his cavalry doing very good to chase down my general. And there we go. He routes off the battlefield. We lose our general, so it's looking super tight right now. We've demolished a lot of his main front line. As you can see, most of the units in the center are the yellow Cimbri banner. Although he does have some units that are winning. Mainly his more elite swordsmen are holding their own against my axemen and stuff. But I still have a lot of infantry left involved. Even here on the left-hand flank, we're about to surround his army with my berserkers right here. They're going to be coming around once they deal with those skirmishers. His general, because it's an infantry unit, is very easily bogged down. So I'm actually getting a recharge right now. His general has gotten recharged now. He's wavering. He's on the brink of routing. He actually uses his own fear ability against me, but none of my units are too close to routing, at least none near him. And his general routes off the field right here. Well, boom. Perfect timing. That is exactly what we need, and now we need to get our berserkers into the fight near his other units to scare the crap out of them and get some beautiful rear charges. We have more infantry that I need to be micromanaging to bring them back in here. His cavalry is still completely bogged down just about. He has one extra unit right here that's mobile, but it's about to get charged by my berserkers. This is really not good for his cav. He really needs to be moving them around a lot more. My berserkers don't really get a good charge, but they'll still do very good against the enemy cavalry. I don't know what it is, but it's something about two-handed armor-piercing units. They just demolish enemy cav. Fantastic unit, dealing a lot of serious damage to him. And with that, he only has a few elite swordsmen left. His cavalry is still alive, but the rest of his army has actually already routed, and pretty much that quickly, the entire battle is ours. There's no way he's bringing it back now. We just have way too many elite units there that he just couldn't get through. The cavalry did excellent to beat my cav, but he just wasn't able to capitalize on it, and my infantry managed to bring us a day. So let's check out the stats of these units and see what's going on with them. So here we are on the statistics screen, and as you can see, our cavalry got demolished. As it should though. I mean, really, I didn't bring this cavalry to win the flanks. I just wanted it to at least be tying down the enemy cav for long enough for my infantry to do their job. And for the most part it worked. He did get through my cav a lot easier than what he should have though. So I really needed a bit more support with him, or at least one more unit of cav to support my left. So that was a little risky. We then have our 5 units of axemen that, I mean, they didn't get a massive amount of kills. Some of them, like 84 kills, doesn't sound like a lot. But when you take into account the fact that he was probably going up against the elite units in the center of his main battle line, that's where I can like give a axeman unit with those kinds of kills a free pass. The other axemen all did fantastic though. 153 kills, 224, 236. Absolutely spot on. My Cimbri nobles didn't even get much of a chance to get into the fighting, but they still got 40 kills. And then my veteran swords, just wow. Triple digits for almost every single unit except this one, which had 36 kills and no deaths. This one had 61 kills and it seems to have been routed probably. At least got hammered, so I'm not sure what happened to that, but that's okay. One of our units getting hit hard is not unexpected at all. And then the berserkers, oh my gosh. These berserkers, man, they're insane. 182 kills for like less than 10% loss. And then the other unit has 317 kills. That is an insane amount of kills for deaths. That is an insane KD ratio. And so his army wasn't bad at all, but unfortunately just way too many of his units were the perfect thing for my units to crash into. And that's mainly his spearmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of spearmen. They're just not really going to hold up much of a candle at all to any of my infantry units. His skirmishes did okay. One got over 100 kills, the other 93 here, 42 and 24. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have bothered with the archers. I would have brought in more naked skirmishers instead so they can help win the flanks for him. He had a lot of cavalry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. 2 of those 5 units I did really bad, only 63 kills and then 5 kills, so you can tell which units of his cavalry he managed to charge into me or vice versa. Because for me, that was also a massive weak spot for me. My cavalry all did very terrible, including my general, although I didn't really want to fight with my general, I just needed him to be alive. And he did that for a while, but he ended up kind of failing and getting taken out early on, but that's just mainly up to my poor micromanagement. But beyond that, ladies and gentlemen, there isn't really too much to say. He brought in a nice army. I think I brought in a pretty good army too. The only changes that I would try to make is maybe getting like 1 or 2 extra units of speed or cav to help support those flanks, keep those flanks alive for long enough to let my center chew away at his center, which it did perfectly. The battle went pretty much according to plan, except for those dangerous, scary flanks by his own cavalry, which he did amazing with. My man Manco knows how to use his cavalry, so I do need to be really careful with that moving forward. So anyways, GG's to my man Manco, appreciate the fight, and if you all want to see more, please do be sure to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out as more online battles will be on the way. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one.